Become even bigger. First, the headlines. 5 days left for the Ram Mandir consecration ceremony. Ram Lala idol to be taken for a temple tour of Ayodhya. Exclusive images of Ram Lala's holy seat only on India Today. After Team Sonia, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and RJD Chief Lalu declined Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha invitation. UP Chief Minister Yogi mounts a Mandir defense, slams the boycott brigade.
कांग्रेस एक तरफ हिंदुओं को बेवकूफ बनाती थी और दूसरी तरफ मुस्लिम वोट बैंक से भी मुंह नहीं छोड़ पा रही थी। वोट बैंक की राजनीति इसमें विपक्ष ने किया है, कांग्रेस जैसे दलों ने किया है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने इसमें राजनीति नहीं की।
Prime Minister Modi's temple tour continues in southern India, offers prayers in Kerala's Guruvayur and Ramaswamy temples ahead of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya 5 days from now. Brazen Congress hypocrisy over the Adani Group exposed once again on the same day that Rahul Gandhi names and shames businessman Gautam Adani. The tycoon is busy announcing huge investments while shaking hands with the Congress Chief Minister Revant Reddy in Switzerland.
2 or 3 people are controlling the entire business system in the country. You have Mr. Adani, you have Mr. Ambani.
More trouble for Mahua Moitra, former Trinamool MP, asked to vacate her government bungalow once again or she will be forcibly evicted. Viewer, Pakistan has been attacked once again. That's right. It's been a decade of a country that's been attacked from the outside, and this is the very latest. And I just wanted to share these pictures with you because Iran has used missiles and drones to bomb terrorist targets in southern Pakistan, in the Balochistan province. But get this, just hours after this attack by Iran on Pakistani territory, Iranian and Pakistani leaders were meeting and shaking hands at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland. I would do anything to know what these leaders were actually talking about, considering that one country had basically just hit the other country with missiles. That's caretaker Prime Minister of Pakistan meeting with the Foreign Minister of Iran. Nobody knows what words were exchanged, but it came just hours after Iran had decided to attack terrorist bases inside Pakistan. And I'm going to explain to you not just what happened, but why it happened. Because everybody's asking, why has Iran attacked Pakistan? Isn't that a really big deal? It is. Let me tell you first what happened. Now, 2 bases of the Balochi terrorist group Jaish al-Adl, you may not have heard of them. They are situated in Pakistan in the southern Balochistan province. That's the area that has a coast with the Arabian Sea. These were targeted by Iranian missiles on Tuesday, a day after Iran's Revolutionary Guard attacked targets also in Iraq and Syria. Now, this terrorist group has been notoriously mounting attacks on Iranian security forces in the border areas. Here's everything we know so far, and then I'll tell you why it's happening.
A damaged building on fire in the aftermath of an Iranian airstrike inside Pakistani territory. Tehran on Tuesday night confirmed it had fired ballistic missiles and suicide drones on terror targets in Panjgul in Balochistan province. The airstrikes by Iran's Revolutionary Guards targeted 2 bases of the Pakistan terror group Jaish al-Adl. Pakistan claimed 2 children were killed and 3 others injured in the airstrikes. Islamabad called the attack an unprovoked violation of its airspace by Iran. The airstrikes inside Pakistan territory come just a day after Iran's Revolutionary Guards attacked targets in Iraq and Syria with missiles. The Jaish al-Adl was formed in 2012. The Sunni outfit operates in Iran's southeastern province of Sistan Balochistan that borders Afghanistan and Pakistan. It is designated as a terrorist organization by Tehran. Over the years, the Jaish al-Adl has launched numerous attacks on Iranian security forces. The region has a history of clashes between Iran's security forces and Sunni terrorists as well as drug smugglers. Incidentally, on the day Pakistan was targeted by Iranian drones and missiles, Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahi had met with Anwarul Haq Kakar, the caretaker Prime Minister of Pakistan, on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. With Iran targeting Pakistan, this is the third major attack on Pakistani soil in recent times. On 2nd May 2011, US forces killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. On 26 February 2019, India struck Jaish-e-Mohammad's terror camp in Pakistan, killing a large number of terrorists. Iran's attack comes at a time when Israel is bombing Gaza and Houthi rebels of Yemen are attacking merchant ships in the Red Sea. The fear of the conflict in West Asia escalating is increasing by every passing day. Bureau Report, India Today.
So just to extrapolate a little bit and summarize the sequence of events, just so you understand precisely what has happened and the order in which it has happened. Now, Iran has used missiles and drones to conduct airstrikes inside Pakistan. Remember, Iran and Pakistan share a border just south of Afghanistan. Missiles, long-range ballistic missiles, and suicide drones were used in these airstrikes. The airstrikes by Iran were to target terror bases like we just showed you in that report of the Jaish al-Adl, which is a Salafi terrorist group. Blasts were reported near the Iran-Pakistan border because this is an area where this particular group operates. This is the Panjgur area of Balochistan where this was situated. The Iranian attack was on two bases of the Jaish al-Adl. Iran's attack is also, remember, happening amidst talks between the two countries in Davos at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Now, I just want to quickly also tell our viewers what weapons was Iran using. Now, many of our viewers may not know that Iran actually, with the help of countries like Russia, has developed a whole family of lethal long-range weapons that it continues to use against its adversaries. In this particular case, there's no confirmation of it, but we understand that the Shahid 136, which is a suicide drone, has a 2,500-kilometer range, was one of the weapons that was used to target Pakistani, bases, the terrorist bases in Balochistan. And the second is called the Khyber Shekan. There's no confirmation whether this is the precise missile that was used. We only know that some kind of a missile was used, but we understand that there's a possibility that the Khyber Shekan long-range ballistic, medium-range ballistic missile may have actually been used to target some of these sites. I want to bring in India Today's Gaurav Sawant, who's our managing editor. He looks very closely at all of this, this region, and he and I have been reporting recently from Israel and Palestine as well. Dr. Wael Awad is a senior journalist and one of the most well-regarded experts on West Asian affairs. Gaurav, I'd like to quickly come to you first. Can you break it down for us very simply to the genesis of this? Why has Iran attacked these Jaish al-Adl bases in Pakistan? What was the provocation? Why has this happened now?
Shiv, Jaish al-Adl is a Sunni Muslim terrorist organization based out of Panjgur in Balochistan. in this restive belt bordering Iran, they have repeatedly crossed the international border and targeted the security forces in Iran. They've targeted police stations, they've targeted police personnel. Just last month, 10 Iranian police personnel were killed by these terrorists. In the past, several have been abducted, and this has been an ongoing attack from these terrorist organizations into Iran. Iran has repeatedly asked the Pakistani government to take action against this terrorist organization and these groups that operate out of this region. It's been taken up at the level of the security forces, at the level of the diplomats, at the level of foreign ministers, and yet Pakistan has done precious little or has been unable to do much in the Balochistan, the restive Balochistan province. Finally, after the killing of these police personnel, Iran decided enough is enough. Even though there's a military exercise going on, even though the foreign minister was meeting the prime minister on the sidelines of Davos, Iran carried out a very major precision strike. The casualties are much higher from what sources tell India today, much higher than what is being reported, Shiv, by the Pakistani authorities. It's an attack on the headquarters and military personnel who are either working in tandem over in the vicinity of that area. They've been dead or injured in this strike by Iran, Shiv.
Okay, Dr. Awad, how are you reading this particular attack? How would you analyze this action that's been taken by Iran, using missiles and drones to attack these targets inside Pakistan, sir?
Well, I think it has been going on for some time, even for this is if we consider the number of attacks has been carried out by this terrorist organization, it should be the 15th attack, and they have already earned the responsibility for attacking in December and also in May, and therefore Iran have been repeatedly warning Pakistan to take care of these organizations, halt their activities, remove their terrorist base and training camps. And in fact, in 2017, they have also threatened that they will be attacking. So when this repeated attack has been happening in Iran from all the direction, whether it is from Azerbaijan, whether it is from the Kurdish area of Iraq, or the terrorist organization under the American umbrella in Syria, northern part of Syria, where America is occupying. So Iran felt that the American CIA, the Mossad, Saudis, and the Turkish, and even the ISI are in collaboration and trying to destabilize Iran. So Iran now have taken a military action and have informed the Pakistanis. Now, how much really the Pakistani authorities have been informed, or whether they are only making publicly this noise, but everybody knows that Pakistan have been turning into a hub center of terrorism, though it considers itself as a victim of terrorism. But we all know that Pakistan have been, the jihadi culture started in Afghanistan and in Pakistan during the American support of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda of Osama bin Laden before they kill him. So therefore, they are now, whoever cooked the poison is testing it. And I think Pakistan themselves realized that they are no longer can fight these terrorist organizations, which is creating havoc. And remember also that the Americans also have been attacking many parts of the northern part of Pakistan and the tribal belt and also the Baluch area for a long, long years. So therefore, if Pakistan does not address these issues internally, I think many countries will step forward to make sure that Pakistan will not be used as a cross-border terrorism against their own.
Dr. Awad, we've just heard just before this show started that Pakistan has decided to recall its ambassador from Iran. There's a diplomatic break between Iran and Pakistan, which was expected, obviously. Like Gaurav was just pointing out, the two sides are actually having diplomatic dialogue in Davos in Switzerland, hours after the bombing actually took place. Pakistan's only reaction so far, sir, has been in the form of a press release expressing outrage and protesting against this attack. Do you see this escalating further? Do you think the ball is now in Pakistan's court? They usually do something to play to the gallery, to their domestic audience. Can they sit and do nothing, or do you think it could lead to an escalation?
Well, I don't think Pakistan is ready for any frontier with the Iranian. They have 900 kilometers border. They are already in a deep diving nose, and economically, politically, I don't think they are prepared. But I would also caution even the Pakistani authorities that they should be carefully calculating that the support from vested interest nations to destabilize Iran does not serve the Pakistani interest. Therefore, they know that there is a strong relation between the two countries. In fact, Iran have increased the free recently the political and the military joint commissions, joint meetings, and they have also military naval training last January. So if these are all the things have been happening, why Pakistan suddenly woke up to this? If not, has been because of the compulsion, because of the political pressure, or because vested interest nation wanted to see that the ultimatum fight should be between Sunni and Shia, and again coming back to the same calculation of what they want to divide and rule.
And it's very interesting, Gaurav, to pull you in on this. You know, we're seeing a steady escalation in tensions in the region at large involving Iran. You know, right from the Israel-Hamas flashpoint that began last year, and both of us reported from the front lines there for many, many weeks. You know, we've seen the US airstrikes happening on Houthi targets in Yemen now. The Houthis, of course, are Iran-funded and backed. And now you've got this attack inside Pakistan. So there is an instability that appears to be increasing in the region right now, and it's all centered around Iran, Gaurav.
So Iran is the strongest Shia Muslim country in the region, and it's Iran that actually strengthens Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria and the Hezbollah in Lebanon. So this is what both America and Israel would want to neutralize Iran's advantage, and perhaps Pakistan is a weapon or a tool that is being used. Again, a Sunni Muslim Pakistan targeting a Shia Muslim Iran. But this is where the apprehension is, the fear is, Shiv. This could actually escalate into a major Shia-Sunni conflict within Pakistan and along the Pakistan-Iran border. Can Pakistan afford to do so when Pakistan's already in deep trouble along the AFPAC border? Again,
Yes.
But that is where in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and you have the Pashtun movement, which is escalating for a wider Pashtunistan. So that is Pakistan's Achilles heel and their worst nightmare. Can they afford multiple borders lighting up at the same time while they may want to, endear themselves to the Americans? They may be doing that, and Dr. Awad can tell us better, at the cost of a major Shia-Sunni fight between Iran and Pakistan.
Very important. I'd like to ask Dr. Awad to throw some light on that aspect about whether, the Sunni-Shia affair could actually escalate into an all-out conflagration beyond just the Jaish al-Adl or other groups in southern Balochistan. But also, Dr. Awad, I'd like you to also expand on the fact that if we zoom out, with this diplomatic breakage between Iran and Pakistan, Pakistan has effectively got either non-existent or broken diplomatic relations with three of its big neighbors, India, Iran and Afghanistan, sir.
Absolutely. That's why I think we should not see this out of the wider perspective, what's happening in West Asia in total. In fact, if we look at the war in Israel, Hamas is nothing limited only to the Palestinian issue. It is also they are targeting the northern part of the south part of Lebanon, where Hezbollah and the resistance forces in Iraq as well, in Iran. So there is what we call as the axis of resistance extended from Iran into the Palestine. That is where the American and the Israeli wanted to break up, and because they wanted to bring into the front is the Abraham Accord, where they wanted to accommodate Israel in the Arab countries at the cost of the Palestinians. That's one of the issues. The second issue, which is of a great importance, is to bring Yemenis, Houthis, and the Bab el-Mandeb, and also the global trade and economic trade. This is another threat which is going to have a global impact. The third, which is more importantly, I believe, is the India-Iran proximity, especially after the visit of the foreign minister to Iran, which is also to reactivate the Shah Bahar and also the access to CIS country. Maybe vested interest nation does not want to see India having its sovereign, independent foreign policy to create such kind of havoc in this region. I don't think it is now we're talking about Sunni Shia, because what's happening in Palestine, it's a majority Sunni, if I want to talk in a communal line. But I would say that Pakistan, it's already divided in a communal line. So where they can they survive such kind of a war? I don't think the Pakistani are interested in any sort of war. They should address and settle their home before every country start pointing them at them, and some people will take full advantage to capsize the nuclear weapon of Pakistan and disintegrate it into more states, which will look more like Afghanistan in the making.
A very, very sobering and disturbing point, unsettling given, the way things have gone in the past in Pakistan. One final question to you, Gaurav. As Dr. Awad said, the Indian External Affairs Minister was in Iran just a day before these missile strikes. Now, of course, there's a lot of chatter on social media. That part is not important, but the India-Iran connection and proximity is important given everything we're seeing. What are your sources in the Foreign Office telling you? How is Iran seeing this? How is India seeing this situation?
India's relationship with Iran has been very warm, and India has always charted this independent foreign policy irrespective of the pressure that actually came from the United States of America. Even during the Donald Trump era, India did not let go of that strong bond with Iran, and India will continue. So Chabahar is something that India wants to take forward. Because of sanctions, there were certain issues that came with the Chabahar port, but India sees Chabahar as a major access to the CIS countries, to Central, not just to Central Asia, but also to Europe. That's very, very significant. India wants to build on that. That's also the alternate access to Afghanistan, again, something that India wants to work on very extensively. But the fact that Pakistan and Iran have major issues right now, that Pakistan has recalled its ambassador from Iran, has told the Iranian ambassador not to come back to Pakistan, suspended all diplomatic ties. Shiv, all of this indicates that there could well be a deep freeze in Pakistan-Iran ties, and that would be a nightmare for Pakistan, as you very rightly pointed out, Shiv. Nightmare for Pakistan on the Afghanistan front, on the Iran front, and of course that perpetual nightmare on the India front.
We're going to be tracking the fallout of these attacks by Iran on Pakistan very, very closely. Gaurav, Dr. Awad, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on India Today on that analysis. We'll be taking that story forward and getting you some ground reports from both Iran and Afghanistan going into prime time here. Now, remember, this attack from the outside on Pakistani sovereignty is hardly anything new. The decade, if anything, has been defined by outsiders attacking Pakistan. Whether it was the Abbottabad raid by US Navy SEALs to kill Osama bin Laden in Pakistan in 2011, or India's Ghar Mein Ghus Ke surgical strikes in the Uri sector in 2016, whether it was the Balakot airstrikes on Pakistani territory in 2019, and now the Panjgur attack by Iran in 2024. Whether in cahoots with those on the outside attacking them, certainly not with India, but this is Pakistan that has gotten used to being attacked from the outside. Watch this report.
May 2, 2011, Abbottabad, Pakistan. Target, Osama bin Laden. Aim, capture or kill. US Navy SEAL Team 6 stormed into the fortress-like residence of the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, barely 100 meters from the Pakistan Military Academy, Kakul, Abbottabad. The aim of the US Navy SEALs was to capture or kill Osama bin Laden. Pakistan was not taken in the loop as US Navy helicopters from Afghanistan flew in low and swooped into the Laden house in Abbottabad. This was the first time Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror was being punished by foreign forces deep inside Pakistan, with ground troops committed.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
Pakistan blustered its way through its most embarrassing moment. But this was only the beginning in a long list of humiliations in store for the global epicenter of terror. On the 18th of September 2016, a group of Pakistani terrorists attacked the Indian Army garrison in Uri, close to the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. 19 braves of the Indian Army were killed in action before the terrorists were neutralized. The Narendra Modi government decided to hit terror at source. The anger was building across the nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave a free hand to soldiers to avenge the Uri terror strike.
जम्मू कश्मीर में उरी में हमारे पड़ोसी देश ने जो एक्सपोर्ट किए हुए टेररिस्टों ने हमारे 18 जवानों को बलिदान होना पड़ा। आतंकवादी कान खोल के सुन ले, यह देश इस बात को कभी भूलने वाला नहीं है।
Specialized teams of the army, including the special forces, crossed the line of control at multiple locations and launched surgical strikes on terror launch pads in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Several terrorists were neutralized and launch pad infrastructure destroyed on September 28, 2016. India had sent a clear message to Pakistan's military jihad complex. However, that message was clearly lost on the Pak Mil Jihad infrastructure. In 2019, Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists targeted a CRPF convoy in Pulwama, killing 40 CRPF personnel. A bigger message had to be sent to the Pakistani army. On the 26th of February 2019, Mirage 2000 fighter jets from the Gwalior Air Base took off, refueled mid-air and crossed the line of control in the Kashmir Valley, bombing Jaish-e-Mohammed's biggest terror training camp in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Balochistan. Before Pakistan Air Force could react, the Indian Air Force fighter jets returned safely to base. This was the biggest response to Pakistan's state-sponsored terror. Without war being declared, fighter jets crossed the border and bombed Pakistan. This was the first time that significant costs were imposed on Pakistan armed forces, ensuring terror no longer remained a low-cost option for terror state Pakistan. Bureau Report, India Today.
And like we just told you, it's the big, inevitable escalation in the Iran-Pakistan affair. A day after Iran bombed Pakistani targets, Pakistan has broken all diplomatic relations with Iran. It has recalled its ambassador from Tehran, the capital of Iran, and Iran's ambassador to Pakistan has also either been sent back or he's already in Iran at this point of time. Pakistan has warned Iran of retaliatory action. This is a statement that's been issued by the Pakistan government spokesperson on the Iran strikes, and I quote, "Last night's unprovoked and blatant breach of Pakistan's sovereignty by Iran is a violation of international law and the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations. This illegal act is completely unacceptable and has no justification whatsoever. Pakistan reserves the right to respond to this illegal act. The responsibility for the consequences will lie squarely with Iran." So only a statement, only a press release, no action has been taken by way of retaliation by Pakistan yet.
Pakistan's sovereignty by Iran is a violation of international law and the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations. This illegal act is completely unacceptable and has no justification whatsoever. Pakistan reserves the right to respond to this illegal act, and the responsibility for the consequences will lie squarely with Iran. We have conveyed this message to the government of Iran.
And viewer, the attack by Iran on Pakistan is only the latest element on a region that is completely messed up. It has been messed up for decades together, but this has only made things just that little bit worse. Let me paint you a picture with a map to show you just how bad things really are in West Asia right now. Iran has used missiles to hit Pakistan as well as Iraq and Syria. At the same time, US fighter jets have been bombing targets of the Houthi rebels backed by Iran in Yemen. Yemen Houthi rebels have been hitting ships in the Red Sea. Shipping traffic has been affected as a result of this. Israel has continued to hit Gaza. That operation is over 100 days old now. Israel has been hitting Syria because Syria has been hitting back at Israel. The Hezbollah in southern Lebanon has been hitting Israel as well. So this entire region has completely been lit up over the last 2 to 3 months as a result of this escalation. Now, chaotic waves of attacks in the Middle East are hardly something new. Few are ever even really surprised about violence in West Asia. Well, the newest chapter in all of this, right before Iran attacked Pakistan, was the US launched airstrikes against the Yemen-based Houthis on Tuesday, hitting anti-ship missiles in a third wave of assaults on the Iranian-backed group in recent days. The strike came as the Houthis claimed responsibility for a missile attack against a Malta-flagged bulk carrier ship called Zographia in the Red Sea. And this wasn't the first attack by Houthi rebels. They've been using drones and missiles to target shipping traffic in the Persian Gulf and Red Sea for many days now. No one was injured in the latest Red Sea attack. Reportedly, the vessel was heading north to the Suez Canal when it came under fire. The chief negotiator for Yemen's Houthis, who are Iran-backed, remember, warned that attacks on merchant ships headed to Israel will continue. Notably, in the recent days, the Iran-backed Houthis, who control most of Yemen's Red Sea coast, have been attacking commercial ships in the area they say are linked to Israel or bound for Israeli ports to show their support to the Palestinians in the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Well, that ends our first segment, but coming up after this very short break, well, it's Ram Bharose as far as airlines are concerned, it seems. The latest viral flashpoint, a passenger who got locked inside a plane toilet for the entire duration of the flight. Absolute nightmare. The crew couldn't do anything. The poor man was stuck there for over an hour and he had to be in there without a seatbelt as the plane came into land.
बहुत अलग नहीं होता, जो भी मिला इसलिए मिला कि हंस के बहुत कुछ खोया हमने। ये जो सूरज देख रहे हो, जुगनू जुगनू बोया हमने। और दुख जब हमसे मिलने आया, उसकी हिम्मत टूट गई। झील भरी थी आंखों में, पर कतरा भी न रोया हमने।
मिलिए मनोज मुंतशिर से साहित्य आज तक लखनऊ में लाइव। फ्री एंट्री के लिए रजिस्टर करें www.aajtak.in/साहित्य पर या मिस्ड कॉल दीजिए 9310330033 पर।
India today is back at the 54th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos. In a world rocked by war and division, what's the best way to rebuild trust? From geoeconomics to geopolitics, artificial intelligence to climate change. Catch top global gurus, leading economists and corporate honchos. What's the world thinking of the India growth story? Watch Davos brainstorm all through this week, only on India Today.
Armed with facts,
political background.
She takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The state of erstwhile united Andhra Pradesh and later Telangana has always had a very strong presence here at the World Economic Forum at Davos. And carrying forward the Telangana flag at the 54th annual meeting of the WEF is a man in a very different corporate avatar trying to attract investment to his state. Revant Reddy joins us in Davos for the first time. Welcome to the World Economic Forum.
Thank you, Rahul.
How's it going? This is your first time. Have you ever been in a place as cold as this, Mr. Reddy?
Yes, ये तो state के लिए, state investment के लिए, and I have to market my state. I have a big gazette of Hyderabad, so I have to market for investments. I'm trying my best to pull investments from here.
So last time we saw you was in the cut and thrust of the election campaign. You were in full politician mode. Now you're in a corporate avatar trying to attract investment to your state?
Yeah, definitely. My political game is over. Now I have to get investments. So my my position and job is turned around. I have to work like anything. I have to.
So you're saying your political game is over, but just before you came to the WEF, you were part of Rahul Gandhi's flagging off of the Bharat Nyaya Yatra in Manipur. So the political game very much still on with the Lok Sabha elections down the corner.
That is there for my state election. I'm talking about my state election. Anyway, I have to fight the parliament election also. Out of 17, I'm going to get 14 parliament seats in my Telangana.
You think so? Because the BJP thinks that they have a good chance in the Telangana parliamentary elections. They're hoping to do much better than they did in the assembly elections.
So I've told you, Rahul, time and again, even when the time of assembly election also, they have claimed that they are going to form the government. I've told you they'll get a third place and single digit. This time also I'm telling you, here the fight between BRS and Congress party. My main opponent is BRS. As of now,
even in the Lok Sabha elections?
Even if the Lok Sabha election also, they don't have that much cadres or leaders. So my fight between BRS and Congress.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 404. In Mumbai, 156. In Kolkata, 196. In Bangalore, 113. In Chennai, 58. In Hyderabad, 84.
Powered by Rungta Steel TMT Bar. एकदम solid.
Viewer, prior to the 22nd January Pran Pratishtha ceremony at the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, the week-long rituals running up to that have already started in the city. The city is getting prepared for the big day. Each and every home in Ayodhya will be participating in these initial rituals as a puja is being performed at the Garbhagriha of the temple just 5 days from now. Take a look at this ground report.
Rituals for the Pran Pratishtha of Sri Ram Mandir in Ayodhya have begun. On Wednesday morning, women of the holy city took out a Kalash Yatra.
राम आएंगे तो अंगना सजाऊंगी, दीप जला के दिवाली मैं मनाऊंगी, मेरे जन्मों के सारे पाप मिट जाएंगे, राम आएंगे.
So a lot of color, a lot of mantras that are being chanted here, surrounded by the priests. But I must add here, there's a strict security deployment also. Higher and higher restrictions now are taking place in Ayodhya.
Ram Lalla's asan at the Garbhagriha is also ready. India Today has accessed images of the asan that will be used for Ram Lalla. It's over 3 feet tall and is made up of 50 square feet marble. 110 workers have worked for over 8 months to get it ready.
देखिए राम लला का जो आसन बना है वो मकराना वाइट मार्बल से ही बना है। ये वर्ल्ड का फाइनेस्ट मार्बल है, इससे ऊपर मार्बल की कोई क्वालिटी नहीं है। इसमें जो मार्बल का साइज है वो 4-4 इंच की परत लगाई गई है, 7 परत जो तैयार किया गया है आसन।
ग्राउंड फ्लोर के अंदर आप स्टार्टिंग से लेके पूरे ग्राउंड फ्लोर के अंदर लगा है। पोडियम पे भी मकराना वाइट मार्बल ही लगा है और कहीं जगह पे इनले का काम हुआ है, गुड़ मंडप में, नृत्य मंडप में, रंग मंडप में और परिक्रमा मार्ग में भी कहीं जगह इनले का काम हुआ है कलर्ड स्टोन का।
Sri Ram Nagari is preparing for the big day. Ramayan is being retold around the Lata Mangeshkar Chowk. Electric buses are plying across the city. Devotees from Ma Sita's birthplace, Janakpur in Nepal, have arrived in Ayodhya to take part in the festivities and the grand inauguration ceremony. Puja rituals are being performed at the Garbhagriha of the Ram Mandir. Steeped in spirituality and festivity, Ayodhya awaits the rise of the Ram Mandir. With Pooja Shali and Samaj Srivastava in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
Viewer, you would no doubt have noticed that amidst all this fervor, amidst all this sentiment and emotion and the atmosphere surrounding the Ram Mandir, it's very difficult to ignore the fact that an older generation here in India is really steeped in this mood. Everyone's very, very excited. Colonies are getting big screens put up so the elderly and infirm who may not be immediately able to go to Ayodhya will be able to see the Pran Pratishtha ceremony for themselves. A lot of people attach a great deal of religiosity, sentiment and faith to what's happening in Ayodhya. And that's one of the reasons why criminal elements have decided to prey on such vulnerabilities, especially of the elderly. You may have seen your own parents being very excited about it. You may have seen family WhatsApp groups where all manner of Ram Mandir related content is being shared. Well, I can tell you, viewer, that the report you're about to watch tells you about something you may have perhaps expected, but it's very, very real. From promises of free VIP access to free prasad from the Pran Pratishtha ceremony itself to free Saryu water that has been blessed by the Ram Mandir on the day when the Prime Minister is there, to all manner of tickets and rides to Ayodhya. These are scams and schemes designed to make you make the wrong decision, especially those like the elderly who may not be familiar with such things. This is India Today's special report by Shreya Chatterjee. Watch this.
Scams surrounding the highly anticipated inauguration of the Ram Mandir. Be cautious of scammers taking advantage of the religious fervor. Let's examine the deceitful practices circulating ahead of the historic Pran Pratishtha. WhatsApp package files promising VIP access to the Ram Mandir consecration. Cybersecurity experts caution that such files might be phishing or hacking attempts. Users are advised against installing them and encouraged to hit the report button.
It's going to be the primary responsibility of every stakeholder to take appropriate steps to go ahead and protect themselves from becoming victims of cybercrimes. So these kinds of various offerings that these dubious or fraudulent websites are offering are nothing but a manifestation of online financial frauds.
Requests for donations through QR codes in the name of the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust. Authorities have repeatedly clarified that no such donation drive is underway. This is just another scheme by scammers. Cross-verify any such requests with official sources. Websites and online platforms offering to distribute free prasad but charging for delivery. Some users dismiss them as marketing stunts, while others complain of fraud. The faithful has been alerted that some platforms are selling prasad. Amazon has initiated an investigation into unauthorized prasad sellers.
कोई भी प्रसाद जब तक ट्रस्ट नहीं देगा किसी के पास नहीं आ सकता। अमेज़न का जो पुराना करैक्टर भी है वो कई बार हमने देखा कि वो हिंदूद्रोही करैक्टर कई बार एक्सपोज हुआ है। अब इनको इमीडिएटली बंद करना चाहिए इसको, अन्यथा तो हमारी जो लीगल टीम है इसमें सीरियसली विचार कर रही है, इस पर लीगल कार्रवाई करेंगे हम।
The Ministry of Home Affairs Cyber Crime Unit has issued alerts to law enforcement agencies.
Clearly, people have suggested that no such authority has been given to self-prasad, and clearly all these things are nothing less than a scam. Organizations like VHP have time and again raised voice against such scam. With video journalist Satya, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
And I want to bring in India Today's Shreya Chatterjee, who broke that story here on India Today. The story is already going viral on all our social media platforms. Shreya, I can bet that a lot of people have already been targeted by these scams. I can, because we all know that, the Indian society is full of people sharing this kind of stuff on WhatsApp. They are very, very easy to target. How is this going to be handled? How are law enforcement agencies going to be able to stop this other than to, basically sensitize as many people as possible?
Well, Shiv, sensitization is the first and foremost thing that is being done right now. But if we talk about legal action, the VHP particularly has been very vocal about raising voice against such of marketing mirages that are right now. We see multiple of them, be it on Instagram, be it on X, be it on any other platform that includes WhatsApp, the kind of QR codes that are floating around on Facebook, even marketing e-commerce giants like Amazon. There are prasad deliveries that are being claimed to be Ram Mandir prasad. As we raised it to Amazon, they said that they are doing an investigation on the same and will revert. But somewhere down the line, there needs to be strict action against them. We do know that the MH's I4C division has also asked law enforcement agency to initiate a crackdown on the same. But right now, probably through the media, through our medium, we can actually request viewers to exercise caution and not fall prey to these marketing mirage that is right now. It's everywhere right now surrounding the entire Ram Mandir inauguration.
And I'm going to request all of our viewers who've watched Shreya's report to please, you can access it on Facebook, on our social media handles. Please share it on your family groups. Let it get as much reach as possible. That's the best way you can stay alert, stay aware and not fall prey to this. And remember, you may be aware of what's happening out there, but the elderly, those not familiar with social media or WhatsApp norms, could easily fall prey. And those are the kinds of people that these scamsters are really banking on. Shreya, great story. Thank you very much for joining me. And we will continue to keep track of the fallout of this investigation. Now to a story that's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. And I really hope that none of us ever have to face what one particular air passenger did. Imagine spending an entire flight, an entire long flight in an aircraft, sitting on the commode inside the aircraft's toilet, and for no fault of your own. This nightmare was a reality for one unlucky passenger who was traveling on a SpiceJet flight from Mumbai to Bengaluru on January the 16th. Once the flight was airborne, the passenger left his seat to use the washroom, like so many of us do. But once he was inside, he couldn't get out because the lock got jammed and the door simply would not open. It was completely stuck. Despite a lot of jostling and pushing and trying to thump the door open, the crew tried for many minutes to unlock the door. But after several unsuccessful attempts, the crew slid a note into the washroom asking the passenger to stay put, and that they had done everything they could to open the door, and they said that he basically needs to spend the rest of the flight inside the toilet because they simply couldn't open it. The photograph of this note, and you're going to see it on your screen right now, has gone viral on social media. The passenger was provided with a full refund. I'm just going to show you that note here in just a second. The incident comes at a time when airline service providers are facing the ire of the public for delays and cancellations due to bad weather. Here it is. Here's that note that was given to the passenger by the crew of the SpiceJet flight saying, "Sir, we've tried our best to open the door. It's not opening. You're going to have to sit tight on the commode inside the toilet and just wait till the aircraft lands. No seatbelt, no protection, claustrophobia. Forget about all that. You're locked inside a SpiceJet toilet. You better be willing to stay there until the aircraft comes to a halt on the ground." Absolute nightmare, and it's a true story. And finally, the latest chapter in the hypocrisy politics over Adani. On the very same day, viewer, the very same day that Congress MP Rahul Gandhi on his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra attacked Gautam Adani, named his company and attacked him for the nth time, far away in Switzerland, Congress Chief Minister Revanth Reddy was shaking hands and rubbing shoulders with Gautam Adani himself. Can you think of a bigger political irony or an indication of just what hypocrisy colors the politics over big industry in this country? Rahul Gandhi attacks Adani. Revanth Reddy signs a 12,400 crore rupee memorandum of understanding with the Adani Group for a slew of big investments in the state of Telangana. And it's not the first. Just a few days ago, there was another meeting. We've seen this happen in Bengal, in Kerala, and in other states as well. The Indie Alliance, with Rahul Gandhi continuing to attack Adani, Mahua Maitra attacking Adani as well. As we here on India Today have always said, an investigation into allegations must always happen. Nobody should be spared, no matter how high they go in any industrial group. If wrongdoing has been done, it should be done. But viewer, you'll agree with me that if hypocrisy had a face, well, take a look at this.
2 or 3 people are controlling the entire business system in the country. I want to ask the question, why none of India's leading companies is owned by a Naga? You have Mr. Adani, you have Mr. Ambani. There are 500 of the biggest companies in India. Not one of them has a Naga leadership.
6 p.m. Prime with Akshita Nandagopal comes up next. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on an uninterrupted temple tour focused on southern India. Lots of emotion, lots of sentiment, lots of implication, and lots of politics. That's next.
कि कांग्रेस ने 1989 में अपने चुनाव प्रचार अभियान का शुभारंभ अयोध्या से किया था? और क्या ये सच नहीं है